Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the Theme Park Evangelist. So it is time for my last vlogs of my Life as a Working Disney Cast Member series. It's only taken 2 years. And here it is, Thursday, July 15th, 2021, almost 2 years after I started it. And it's all come down to this moment. My last two vlogs of my Life as a Working Disney Cast Member series, all put together in one. What it was like for me to quit Walt Disney World, and how do I feel now that I've quit Walt Disney World. So, as you guys know, it took one bad manager to kind of push me to quit Walt Disney World. And when I found out what he had been saying about me, I was really hurt. And I hated to come to the manager at Epcot. And, at first, when I was talking to him, or when I told him I was going to put in my 2 weeks notice, I didn't actually feel that bad, and he was, really understanding about it. And I know when I first started originally talking about quitting, he got really upset with me, and then when I came to him later, it was really hard, but at the same time, I didn't feel so bad about it because I'm like, yeah, this is probably better for me. And I don't know what happened, but later on down the road, after I had already quit Walt Disney World, and after I lost complete access to the hub, it was like probably even a year later, the pandemic hit, and I started being forced to clean everything all the time, and that's when it really dawned on me how much cleaning for Walt Disney World ended up helping me in the long run. And I started remembering how much time Disney spent teaching me how to clean, and I thought to myself, Disney, you really taught me a lot, especially about cleaning. And I never really took that into consideration all that much. And I really do appreciate the fact that you guys taught me all that you did, especially about the whole cleaning bit. And then when I first did end up quitting Disney, basically this is the best way to put it. So the manager was very understanding that I was quitting, and he was sad to see me leave. He said that, I didn't have to leave, that I could stay if I wanted to, but he respected my decision and said, well, as long as you work your 2 last weeks, you can come back on good terms anytime. And that's exactly what I did. I actually did end up working my 2 weeks, and I gave my full best effort, too. And on my absolute last day of my 2 weeks, I came to the manager's office. Unfortunately, there was nobody there at the time, so I did exactly what the manager told me to do, which was to return everything. I made sure my all my costumes had been returned. What's funny though, speaking of costumes, I actually found my Disney's Hollywood Studios pants inside my closet right after I moved. So now I can't even return them. Anyway, but yes, I did return all my costumes otherwise. That was one last thing I made sure I did before I officially left the building. I turned in my Blue ID. I did get to keep my name tag. And I also returned all of my custodial equipment. And if I remember correctly, I think I end up returning all of my or I think I did forget to return, or hold on, now I remember. So I turned in my Blue ID absolutely last because I had to go return all my costumes first, like the rest of them. So I went and put some of my stuff down in the manager's room, and then I went and turned in my costumes. and I had to walk backstage in my casual clothes. Now, I've done this before. I just usually would wear my name tag, even though you're not really supposed to wear your name tag of anything but your costume, but I got away with it. And I walked all the way back there, and I turned in my blue ID. Still nobody there. Still nothing got moved. And I walked all the way back, and I did take off my name tag at that point, because I'm like, oh, now I'm in an area where I can get away with it. And I knew the next thing was going to be the hardest thing for me to do, which was to leave the casting building for the last time. Now, why is that? Now my blue ID, which is still active, by the way, was back in the manager's office. Once I left the the casting building, I could no longer get back in. I could no longer access any more Disney backstage property. I could no longer get free parking. I still technically had my main gate, which was only active for so long, and I could no longer get any more discounts or anything like that. And yet, I still forced myself to push through that thing, and I knew once I pushed myself through all the way, that was it. I was done. And it was just kind of weird, I'm just standing there on the other side, and I knew that I was now at this point officially no longer a cast member. And it was sad, I was standing in the cast member parking lot for the last time. That was the last time I was going to be allowed backstage ever. And I knew I could still be back there that last time because I had to leave. And I knew that I had to come back there in the first place to come park my car because I had my last shift that day. And it's not like I can't be back there anymore. I mean, technically I had to leave like right then and there. And like everything I basically thought about was like I had to be pretty quick because I knew I really couldn't be back there anymore. But at the same time, it just like everything just kind of came in my mind all at once. It was kind of like, wow, I just can't believe the fact that I no longer can go backstage. I can't believe I no longer a cast member. It was just kind of one of those surreal things. And I got in my car and I left backstage Epcot one last time. And just as I was kind of leaving, I just took one last look and that was it. And as I looked at it through my rearview mirror, knowing that that would be the last time I would ever see the back of Test Track from a close-up perspective. Ever since then, I've always seen Test Track from on the ride point of view. Even when you're on the ride in the backstage area, you can only see so much of it. And I'll tell you this right now, since I've left Disney for the last time, I have never seen a backstage area of it ever since. Even the couple of times or the last few months that my dad was working for Disney, I don't think I even went to Disney all that often because I ended up getting so busy with my Spanish class, and then I went to Disney one last time as a Florida resident. And that was on May 21st, 2019. And I went with some friends, and this was a pretty big day to me because of the fact that I knew after that I would only be coming once a year. So I did put a lot of emphasis on it, and that's why I asked a bunch of friends to come and spend the day with me, because after that, they would barely see me anymore. Melissa, for example, a close friend of mine, she only sees me once a year, and that's on Sunday mornings at church, and that's it. Her boyfriend only saw me for the first time this year in 2 years because of the fact that he came and kind of hung out with us at the bowling alley, and that was the first time, as I said, I saw him a couple of years. I haven't even seen Melissa's friend Maylee in a couple of years either. Vanita, I only saw one time this year, and that was the one night I went bowling and that was just for a few hours, and that was it. I hadn't really hung out with her since last year. So I knew that May 21st was going to be like the last big deal because now I only come down once a year. I'm never guaranteed to see everybody, and I never guarantee to see everybody that long. My close friend Hope Abercrombie, I only see her once a year, and I only see her for about an hour a year, and that's it. TJ's the only one I see on a regular basis because he's the only one that makes time, and plus Kay, of course, to see me every single year that I come down. So I knew that moving up to Kentucky, almost a Canada by accident. I knew moving up to Kentucky was going to change my life. But the whole point of this video was to discuss how quitting Disney would really affect me. And, how do I feel now that I've quit Disney? I mean, well, obviously, I'm up here in Kentucky. For one thing, I'm happier in the sense that Disney feels special again. When I was living in Florida, Disney and Universal were starting to get really boring to me and weren't feeling as special because of the fact that when you go somewhere all the time that you can see anytime, it just doesn't feel that special. Like, say, for example, I lived in Lake Wales. I was living within an hour of Disney. And to go to Disney Springs was, like, very easy and convenient. And so it was something that TJ and I used to do all the time, considering sometimes traffic was really good depending on what time of the day it was or what day of the week it was. We could get there relatively quickly. And if I really wanted to here, I could go to Kings Island anytime I want, but I mean, it's not the same as like going to Disney Springs. And like now it actually feels more special to go to Disney because now I have to get on a plane or get in my car and travel all the way down to Central Florida just to go there. And to me, that makes it more meaningful. And the other thing that really helped me out with quitting Disney is the fact that I no longer had to see Disney from a cast member point of view. I no longer had to respect their values, their opinions anymore. I could see Disney from the way I wanted to. I no longer had to live and breathe Disney all the time anymore. I mean, yeah, my dad had a lot worse. But still, I was able to go back to just focusing on college. I was able to go back to just working at Publix for a couple of months. And at least I was able to leave Disney knowing that at least I gave it my best effort. Knowing that at least I worked there and that I did enjoy the experience. And, it was fun. I enjoyed it while it lasted. But anyway, that's what it was like for me to work at Disney, all the way from the beginning when I worked at Disney's Hollywood Studios and Food and Beverage, all the way to the absolute end when I worked in custodial at Epcot. You even got to hear what it was like for me to work at Animal Kingdom at Rivers of Light. I hope that you guys enjoy my next YouTube series, which will talk about how I met Kay and TJ over the years. In the meantime, I'm going to see what kind of YouTube video I can do next, since I've already got all my homework done already for the week, and I can start on next week's homework, which is the week before last. Also, pray for this test to go well tomorrow, so that way I can go back to work on Monday. So, until then, I will see you guys in the next vlog, and always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great day. Peace out.